this will be put out, the recording will be put out because we're having technical difficulties. So good morning and welcome to General Finance for September 15th, 2025. Let's go to number 1, the attendance roll call. I know Councillor Amos Key is going to be late, and also Councillor Carrie Bomberry will be late. Also, Councillor Helen Miller will be late. Councillor Audrey Paulus Bomberry is unable to attend today. And also, Councillor Dale Bomberry is on personal leave. And go ahead.
Dean Hill, Councillor. Greg Fraser.
Hazel Johnson.
Melba Thomas.
Elena Van Every.
Cynthia Jameson.
Go ahead, Leslie. And we have Councillor Leslie Green on Zoom. And she said she'll be in here in 15 minutes. Okay, let's get started. Number 2, identification of media. See any? Number 3, any changes or additions, deletions to the agenda? If not, can I have a mover? Moved by Greg, second by Melba. All in favor? Anybody opposed? See none, carried. Let's go to number 4, adoption of general finance minutes for August 18th, 2025. Is there a mover? Moved by Melba, seconder. Second by Hazel, all in favor? Anybody opposed? See none, carried. Let's go to number 5, delegations and presentations. We have Jackie Jameson, Six Nations of the Grand River Tourism, and then to talk about the new Welcome Center. Go ahead, Jackie.
Yes, good morning, everyone. I also have Spring here with me. She has been helping manage the project so far, so working on grants and trying to keep the project on its deadlines. So we are working on the new Tourism Welcome Center. We received a grant for $225,000 through a tourism growth grant. So that was through FedDev. The other portion has been raised through revenue through our department. So we were able to raise about a third of the funding, but we're still looking for just over $1 million. That was, I think, $1,078 and some change. So part of us not being able to get more funding is because of the federal election. So that's really pushed back funding, as you may know, and that's also pushed back opportunities for grants as well. So with this new Tourism Welcome Center, we are looking to build a space within the community that has offices. It will also be a nice place to welcome the community. So this summer we've seen some visitors come in that are just looking to learn about our culture and our history and learn about who we are, but there's really not a lot of places to point them to. And they're literally getting dropped off by Uber at Chiefswood Park. So it's been a real struggle to try and teach them. Like, we do have the Chiefswood, the historic site there, Pauline Johnson, but that specifically focuses on the history of the house and Pauline and the family. So there's really nowhere in the community other than the Woodland Cultural Center to welcome people, show them who we are, have some visuals, and then the other portion of this building will be used for our tours as well. So right now we have tour buses coming in. We have tours anywhere from 10 to 50 to 60 to 100 people, and we don't have a space to put them in. And I think part of our community, part of tourism, part of being the people that we are is showing them hospitality. So if we don't have a space to welcome them to, it's not very professional, and it doesn't show who we are as a people. So that's part of this building. The other part is that we do not have a building right now. I know there's been some confusion within the community. We're no longer in the old tourism building that's on the corner of Chiefswood and 54. So we haven't been in that building since April 2023, since we transferred to council. So there's definitely the lack of office space and just lack of space for tourism to be able to operate. So part of the new building as well will have a kitchen, so we're able to cook for our guests and make sure they can have some traditional food. Yeah, I don't know if there's any questions. I know I've been here a few times to talk about this. I know location has not been ideal as well, but we're doing our best to work with that, beefing up the gardens around the building. And once the building is up and complete, we'll be able to put in more gardens, more teaching things, but also be able to give back to the community as well. Right now, we have a foundation in place that was able to be put into place with this grant. The deadline for the grant is December 31st of this year. If we get the funding, we're still on track to get it done. If we don't, we are jeopardizing that $225,000 grant that we did receive. So I don't know if anybody has any questions for me.
Okay, thank you for that. Is there any questions? Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Jackie. Yeah, because tourism is on the upswing, especially in Canada. I think with Indigenous tourism is also going to be highlighted. And speaking with Minister Cho, he pointed out that the economy for Canada this year will be about $27 billion in terms of tourism, which is again a good thing. He also did a survey that said that 90% of Canadians want to stay in Canada. So again, there's a market there for us. I know you've been working with Niagara and all the other regions to get more inclusion in terms of their packages, which is good. The question I had is right now at Pauline Johnson's, because you're limited with office space and you do need the staff. You probably need even more staff if you get more buses and stuff like that. And I know that this new center will actually be a very welcoming center. Just as a sideline, we had people from Constance Lake come to visit, and we really had nowhere to welcome them. We had to take them down by the river. We also had a Brant County joint council meeting. We had to have it, and then we were really in restricted space with the pavilion, which you rent from ECDEV. So what I'm getting at is that there is limited space for your workers right presently. And like you said, the old tourism building is now taken up by economic development and also Woodland Cultural Center, both thriving departments, right? One in green energy, the other one in actual the space that you would have had is now gone to our lands and resources, which is very important because of our land claim case. So what I'm getting at is, where's your office right now? Where's your office space?
Yeah, so right now we have six full-time staff, one part-time maintenance, and we're welcoming a new admin assistant next week. So that we are in the cabin when you first come into Chiefswood Park. There's a small cabin there. There's 3 of us in there now, about to be 4. It's a tight space, and then 3 are in the house at Pauline Johnson, which is taking up valuable space within the house as well. The other thing that I forgot to mention is we do have the collection for Chiefswood, which is a Pauline Johnson collection and the family. That is currently at Oneida Business Park. It is not in a controlled space. It is not taken care of properly, and it hasn't been since COVID. So during COVID, right before COVID happened, we had to move it out of Woodland because that agreement was never signed properly, and they needed the space. So we had to move that out. With us starting this new building, we were going to do a phased approach for the collection and get that brought over to our new building. But in the meantime, there's been a flood at Oneida Business Park as well, and that did affect our collection. Luckily, nothing was permanently damaged, but there was some water on our collection, which is not ideal. So we do want to move that into our space, have it properly climate controlled, and everything that we need to do to preserve that and take care of that as well.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, as you noted, because of the election and then lack of budget, everyone's funding is being held up. And Carney is expected to bring his budget forward in October, but what he's said repeatedly is austerity, austerity. So, are you still, like, you had thought to be able to put in an application to get a grant for the balance, the 1 million plus, and you explain why it's all held up. Are you still able to put in this application?
Yeah, we've been researching every grant opportunity that we can. But again, not a lot is working out. And then with capital, it is hard to find money for that. And the other issue we've had as well is, oh, I'm blanking now. I don't even remember. But there's just been like several issues. Oh, that's the other one is once you start construction, it's hard to find money to continue that construction. So a lot of the grants don't like to fund anything that's already started, which is an issue. So we've been trying to section it off. We just put in a grant. We're trying to apply for a grant for the kitchen portion. So like phase it out. But it has been a struggle.
Just to clarify, when you presented prior, I thought in my mind's eye that you had already put this application in. It would have been for the remainder. Is that correct?
No, we were sourcing funding at that point. We were looking at different grants to try and pay for different portions. So the one grant that we did have, they all have different limits, right? So the one grant that we did have was up to 250,000. We were able to get 225 out of that. So not to find a grant for $1 million is a little bit difficult. So that's why we were looking at different grants. But then once we hit the election season, everything stopped.
Is there any other questions or comments? Go ahead, Elena.
Hey Jackie, I'm just wondering why we didn't see this at committee first.
I was told that this had already went to committee, so we were coming back here. So this would have went to committee the first time around.
Were you at committee?
Yeah.
With
This would have went to committee. This got an approval back in February.
Because it's not a recommendation from committee, right?
No, I don't think so.
So this recommendation isn't coming from committee. I'm just for process, why it's not following the process.
Go ahead, Tracy.
Hi, Jackie.
Hi.
Would that be, in February, would that have been your original resolution? That would have come then? And so this is included in the first one? So this is just coming back
Yeah.
as a part of the original resolution?
Yeah.
So I think that might be why it looks unusual.
It jogged my memory, what was the first part of it?
When we had first come, it was with that $225,000, and we were pushing that, but we were also trying to get approval to go ahead with the project. So that's when we were in the process of looking for more funding sources. So we've been in the process since February, but with that election, that's definitely logged things.
Cynthia?
I'm trying to jog my memory too. I think that, remember it was October, November? We at council amalgamated wealth and economy with lands resource. So I think, was it maybe in September that this would have went to the wealth and economy? That's how it would have got by, because it didn't come to ours, no. But we weren't we weren't part of that committee then. And the only reason I know is because a few months ago, people were protesting about where the reception center would be, and that it was at a historical site, etc. And I thought, surely to goodness we're aware of that. We wouldn't have, if that was part of it and would cause some damage in that regard, council wouldn't have passed it. So I went and looked up and everything, and then I seen those documents, and even with the Historical Society, it was part of the plan to have this.
Yeah.
And where it was located too. But that's why I didn't remember. I'm not sure, but I think that might be it, Elena. And also, I was trying to remember too, because I was wondering that as well. Why didn't it come to our committee? But remember with that same committee, Wealth, Economy, Lands, Resource, we had, again, same thing. The Wealth Economy was dealing with the cannabis matter. And so we didn't have that background. And then again, it got amalgamated. So suddenly it's on our table. But then when the issue went to council, we were informed because it was in the land of council now, it wouldn't be coming back to our committee. So that's what I'm understanding, the rationale.
That'd be correct. Okay, so recommendation 5.1, whereas Six Nations Tourism is building a new welcome center to welcome visitors, create more office space, and create efficiency in operations. Whereas $297,311 was requested on February 24th, 2025. Whereas Six Nations Tourism identified there's additional funds of $877,512 that required for this project. Therefore, it be resolved that Six Nations of the Grand River 59th Elected Council accept the following recommendation from Six Nations of the Grand River Tourism and approve the final project for a total of $1,174,823. Source of funds identified OFNLP funds. Question, go ahead, Elena.
Just one more question. The last time we had Built Environment Committee, we heard from Derek, who said he hasn't gotten the drawings back for this building.
Yeah, we just sent him the site plans last week. So he has everything up to date.
What day was that?
Oh geez, I don't remember. Sometime in the last week, probably Wednesday, probably midweek.
Okay, so our committee was Thursday, and at that point he said he did not have drawings for this building.
Okay, I can double check, but yep, he's been given everything. The only thing that we're waiting for, which is timing, is like the mechanicals inside.
Okay, but this number encapsulates everything that you're going to need.
Yes.
Go ahead, Amos.
Yeah, I just want to ask a question to Jennifer. Do we have the funds to do this? To Jennifer?
Yes, we will have the funds.
Can you come up?
Thank you. Yes, we will have the funds. The OFNLP funds I know right now are being used also for the lodge and things to that effect. However, we do know that for the lodge that we'll be getting ministry kickback. So the OFNLP funds are available. It's just a matter of me figuring out the timing of where the funds are and when they are available.
Thank you, Jennifer. Any other questions or comments? Is there a mover for this resolution? Moved by Greg, second by Melba. Question? Go ahead, Dean. No? Any other questions or comments? It's been moved and second. All in favor? Anybody opposed? We have one opposed, Helen Miller. How come, Helen?
I'm opposed because when it first came up, I thought Greg said there was enough money to do the building. And why would you start building a building if you didn't have enough money to finish? It's been sitting there for like going over 2 months and nobody's even worked on it or nothing. So I don't know if there's something going on with the construction or I missed all the conversation before I got
Yeah,
here. I
we've been
apologize
held
for that, but
We've been held up in the administrative portion of it. So I know, I don't remember when it was, probably in May or June, Derek came into the project, right? So he wasn't in the project before that. And when he came in, that held us up and we had to go get additional things to make sure that we had everything to come back and ask for the money. So the logs are sitting there, everything's ready to go. It's just the additional funding to make sure that we have the money for the rest of the materials and labor and everything else that we need. So that's really been the holdup. It's been a little bit administrative and making sure that Derek had everything that we needed. And we were super grateful that he was able to come in and help because I am not a construction expert. So his help was definitely appreciated.
Okay. was carried. Let's waive second reading. Moved by Greg, second by Melba. All in favor? Anybody opposed? One opposed? Carried. Okay. Thank you for coming in. Let's go to number 6. Recommendation from the Community Committee. This was moved by Dale Bomberry and second by Melba Thomas. That the Community Committee recommends to the Six Nations of the Grand River 59th Elected Council that Councillor Dean Hill attend the Child and Family Services of the Grand Erie's 3rd Annual General Meeting, September 18th, 2025, Cassie Hill, 70 Town Center Drive, Townsend. So Dale's not here, but is there Greg? So Greg, Melba, you're seconded it? All in favor? Anybody opposed? See none, carried. Waive second reading on that one. Moved by Greg, second by Melba. All in favor? Anybody opposed? See none, carried. Let's go to number 7. Housing bank loan renewal. Is this yours, Jennifer?
Good morning, Chief. Good morning, Council. So this item is to renew the CMHC bank loan for the housing properties. We've made the recommendation that we accept the treasury rate that's offered through CMHC, as it is more competitive than the bank's posted rates as well as our preferred rates with the banks. And it would be effective for a 5-year period. The actual interest rate is not provided to us in advance because it comes into effect as the treasury rate at the time of the loan. However, for reference, our current interest rate for these loans sits at 0.79%. And the rate that was offered by, sorry, I'm reading my notes here. So the previous loan renewal that took place for the 5-unit duplex on Harold Road, which was set to renew on May 2024, the rate that was offered at that time for CMHC to Six Nations of the Grand River was 4.08%, while the rate from RBC at the time was 4.59, and BMO's rate was higher at about 6%. So that's why we've made the recommendation to accept the treasury rate that's offered by CMHC.
Go ahead, Cynthia.
And Jennifer, how long, or what's the term left?
There's approximately 13 years left on the amortization schedule.
And what was the original loan amount, and what's the balance?
I'm sorry, Counselor, I don't have that information with me. The financial control officer for housing that was going to join me today is unfortunately sick today, and she had that information with her.
Go ahead.
Who's the financial control officer?
She's joined our team about 3 months ago. Her name's Adrienne
Adrienne who?
Canfield.
Who?
Adrienne Canfield.
Canfield?
Yes.
Is she a native?
Yes, she is.
Oh, good. Is she from here? Even better.
No, she's not from Six Nations, but she's from Temiscasing.
Where?
Temiscasing. It's up by the Quebec-Ontario border.
Okay.
Okay, recommendation 7.1. Whereas the loan of the 50-unit Elders Apartment building is due for renewal on January 1st, 2026. Whereas Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation has offered to renew the loan for a further 5-year term. Whereas Six Nations of the Grand River would not benefit from obtaining interest rate proposals from financial institutions due to the fact that Canada Mortgage and Housing's rate is based on the Government of Canada Treasury bill rates. Therefore, it be resolved that Six Nations of the Grand River 59th Elected Council approves to refinance the loan for the 50-unit elder apartment building effective January 1st, 2026 with a Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation for a further term of 5 years, and therefore it be resolved that Six Nations of the Grand River 59th Elected Council approve for the signature the loan renewal amending the agreement. Is there a mover? Moved by Cynthia? Okay, moved by Cynthia. Is there a seconder? Second by Amos. Go ahead, Cynthia, and then Amos.
What do we use to pay this loan?
We collect rent, which helps pay for these loans. And the balance of the loan?
How you pay for the loan?
Oh, I'm sorry, the rental payments do pay for this loan.
Entirely.
Yes.
Okay.
Amos?
Yeah, I'm just, you know, I'm a stickler for records, so I just wondered whether we could include the balance figure of that loan in this last part, therefore be it resolved?
Yes, I actually just found the loan document on the package. So the approximate loan balance outstanding is $1,642,901.39. $1,642,901.39.
So we'll add that to it for the mover and seconder. All in favor?
Appetite, good for you.
Anybody opposed? See none carried. Waive second reading. Moved by Cynthia. Second by Amos. All in favor? Anybody opposed? See none carried. Let's go to number 8 is comprehensive funding agreement amendment number 174 and 176. Go ahead, Jennifer.
Thank you, Chief. Recommendation 8.1, whereas Six Nations of the Grand River Elected Council has entered into a 5-year comprehensive funding agreement with Indigenous Services Canada, and whereas comprehensive funding agreement numbers 174 and 176 have been received for council approval and signatures, therefore be it resolved that Six Nations of the Grand River 59th Elected Council approve and sign the following comprehensive funding agreement amendments numbers 174 and 176 for fiscal year 2025-2026 between His Majesty the King and Right of Canada as represented by the Minister of Indigenous Services and the Six Nations of the Grand River. Amendment includes additional funding for the following departments, programs, or projects. Amendment number 174, Health System Integration Fund for $429,626. Indigenous Health Equity Funds for $1,874,163. And amendment number 176 is for mental health and addictions retention incentive of $16,000. Please note that amendment number 175 is regarding cancellation of a reporting requirement and therefore does not require a signature from council.
Mental health and additions?
So we'll change that, mental health and addictions. So is there a mover? Yep. Do you have a mover? Move first. Are you moving it? Yeah. Amos? Moved by Amos, seconder. Second by Melba. Go ahead, Amos. Question?
Phone's on, but anyway, just for my own background and I guess for the community that's listening, how does this get triggered, Jennifer? Do they look at our budget that we applied for originally and then they say, well, we got some more money, or do they just say, hey, there's money here, can you apply for it? So can you just give me a background on it?
It really depends on which amendment I'm bringing forward. So for instance, with this retention incentive from amendment number 176, something occurred at Six Nations and we notified the funder that occurred, and then that triggered the retention incentive. For the first part of the amendment number 174, that was for the Health System Integration Fund. That was our team literally talking to the funders, expressing the need of that, and working with them for funding for that. And then the Indigenous Health Equity Funds, I believe that that's just part of what we already receive. It's just that the amendment comes later into the year than at the startup phase.
Thank you for that, Jennifer.
So it's been moved and seconded. All in favor? Anybody opposed? See none, carried. Recommendation 8.2 to waive second reading. Let's waive second reading. Moved by Melba, second by Amos. All in favor? Anybody opposed? See none, carried. Let's go to number 9, a motion to adjourn to go to in camera. Is there a mover? Moved by Hazel, seconder. Second by Cynthia. All in favor? Anybody opposed? See none, carried. Thank you for joining us today and have a great day, everyone.